Hello there, and welcome to this week's edition of Crazy Critique. Now, the newly released cinematic film that I went to see this week was the newest Danny Boyle directed film, but probably more importantly, Aaron Sorkin scripted film. The film in question is Steve Jobs. Now, for those who don't know who Steve Jobs is, which is probably very few of us, Steve Jobs is pretty much the Apple mogul, responsible for having such an effect on the computing and mobile phone industry. What this film focuses on is three particular moments in his life, because sometimes with biographical films, they can be rushed, so it's, in this certain sense, Sorkin had decided to set it up almost like a play in three acts. Those three acts revolve around three important launches of products regarding Steve Jobs' involvement. The Macintosh in the 80s, Jobs' own computer in 1988, and in the late 90s, the newest Apple computer. So there we go. That's the plot. That's the setup. It's all about performances. Really, this film is a complete performance-based film. I will quickly go first of all into Aaron Sorkin. You know what you're going to get with an Aaron Sorkin screenplay. It's going to be hyperactive, hyper-intelligent dialogue. You're going to have some walking and talking, it's a given. So it's all really about whether you enjoy that sort of style, or like that style in particular. That will determine your enjoyment of the film. I personally am a bit of a fan and a bit of an admirer. I truly love The Newsroom. I thought it was a fabulous piece of television. Some of the best television I've ever watched. I'm disappointed there wasn't more than the 3 series. And I really did enjoy The Social Network. So I've got a nice bit of track record regarding Aaron Sorkin's works. I do want to watch The West Wing. That is on my to-watch list. So, hey, and this film, to go straight into this film regarding his effect, at particular moments in this film, it had me riveted. It really did, particularly exchanges of dialogue with particular characters. So, you know, as an actor with a Sorkin script, you're going to have ample opportunity to get stuck into his heavy dialogue, and this film is certainly no different. Michael Fassbender, to my memory, is in every scene, and that is quite an achievement, isn't it? I mean, we all know, hey, it's a film focusing on Steve Jobs, but even in sort of biographical films, there tend to be moments where you're experiencing other characters exchanging things about this other character, but it seems to be pretty much in every scene. Like I say, to my memory, that Michael Fassbender is in every single one of them, and that is making a firm and fascinating impression. He makes a firm and fascinating impression as the aforementioned Steve Jobs. He's really, really effective, and you certainly feel his presence on screen. This is quite like I say, it's an actor's film, and it isn't obviously just Michael Fassbender who is on play here. Kate Winslet completely immerses herself as Jobs' loyal assistant, Joanna Hoffman, to the point where I did actually. I'm being honest here. I absolutely forgot it was Kate Winslet. She immersed herself so incredibly well in that character, and certain way she was styled, you just couldn't recognise her. So, fabulous work by the makeup team, and fabulous work by Kate Winslet. Jeff Daniels, we all know his links there with Sorkin previously, The Newsroom, and he again is making a highly entertaining addition to the cast as Steve Jobs' superior at Apple. Kind of as a mentor in a way, but not a mentor, depending from whose opinion you take. Now, Seth Rogen plays Steve Wozniak, and it's a funny one, and yeah, I know, no, that's not a pun intended, by the way, because he has quite prominent exchanges with Fassbender, which are very, very effective, acting-wise, between them. But there's certain moments I was watching him thinking, that's Seth Rogen. And that is completely, that's a shame on my part. I know that, because I'm not looking past the actor. Maybe it's because Seth Rogen is has a distinctive voice and laugh and way of acting that, I don't know, like I say, it's partly my fault in a way, but yeah, it wasn't quite as effective as I wanted it to be, as I wanted him to be. So yeah, he's quite good. He's very good. He's quite good. Oh, one nice piece of our little casting is Michael Stuhlbarg, who was also involved and was a member of the Apple team. And for those who genuinely know the actor, I mean, in particular for me, Boardwalk Empire, he's just fabulous in that. He's just great on show again portraying. He's a great addition to the ensemble cast. Not quite as prominent as the aforementioned other four actors, but he certainly makes an impression on the film. And again, has fabulous exchanges with Fassbender. So, yeah, it's completely character performance based film, but that doesn't mean Danny Boyle's effect isn't felt on the film. And he must be praised for particularly for the long shot, the long camera shots that linger on the actors, because that enhances their performance and effect on the audience. Because often with films, editing is amply used. I mean, overused to the point where you could almost see exactly which bit was chopped and changed and chopped and changed. But this, because he's lingered so long on the actors, you're seeing that performance, and a performance that apparently, in particular Michael Fassbender's point of view, he had learnt his script to a T, that he didn't actually need to have it on set with him. And he, because like I said before, he's in every single scene, to my memory, in the film. That is an astonishing achievement and an astonishing performance for that fact. So, nice work. It's an understated Danny Boyle film in a way. The score is effective, but sometimes you don't feel it enough. Maybe that's my only little criticism. And yeah, what more can I say about the film? It does completely depend on your tolerance in a way to Sorkin's style. I really, really enjoyed it, and therefore I really, really enjoyed the film and I do want to see. I think it was an overall great and different film, because a different film experience from the one, and it's definitely different. Well, I say it's different from the one you usually experience in the cinema, and for that, the cinematic world is only better. So I think I want to see more Sorkin works. I want to see particularly more Sorkin TV, after obviously with the newsroom. But I thought it's a shame, isn't it, that it's not reaching an audience, because it was out in America for about a month or so, wasn't it, before in the UK here. It hit pretty much no audience whatsoever. It's probably just going to make its money back. It only cost $30 million, and considering the star power involved, a marketing campaign has been completely atrocious, hasn't it then? Let's face it. Considering how big the person is as an individual as well, and like I say, the star power, the poster's a boring poster as well. I suppose the question is, how do you make that sort of film appeal? I couldn't answer the question, but they didn't make it appeal clearly to enough people, because not enough people wanted to see it. That's a fact. So there we go. Steve Jobs. I really, really did enjoy the film. I really loved those bitty, detailed exchanges of script and dialogue between actors, and the performances are all around absolutely fabulous. I expect at least 2 nominations, Oscar and BAFTA wise, from this film. I particularly have to point out Kate Winslet. I think she was fabulous. Like I say, to the point I just didn't recognise her. Fassbender needs to be in the running at least. And yeah, I think at least them two, with possible other characters as well. But yeah, there we go. Steve Jobs, my theatrically released film of the week. So my classic film of the week has absolutely, well, no, in a way it does, very, very far-reaching links, but the film in question is the Studio Ghibli film, My Neighbour Totoro, released in 1988. And for anybody who knows of the Studio Ghibli, they'll know that Totoro itself and its little creatures are the symbol and mascot for Studio Ghibli. This is the effect this film had on Japan's animation at the time, and to be honest, it's reaching an audience here now as well, which is fabulous, because Japanese animation can be very childish, or can be way, way too grown up. Let's face it. Anybody who knows the genre. So, what Studio Ghibli manages to do is make something appeal. Let's face it, this particular film, My Neighbour Totoro, is a film that certainly appeals to very, very young children, from its cute and cuddly characters to the little bits of nice humour, the way the characters act in the film. The the It focused on two girls, Satsuki and Mei, and they have just moved to a new rural house to be nearer to their mother, who's in a hospital, is recovering from a serious illness. So it's a big change for the girls, and it's sort of about them discovering. It's about discovery, isn't it? And the wonders of nature. And from the moment they are arriving at the house, they're high on energy and just running around all over the place. The older girl is pretty much leading the charge, and the little girl's into following and copying everything she says and does. It's quite a delight. And the way they're discovering things in the house, and then suddenly there's this massive garden, and then oh my word, there's like the forest and things like that. And sorry, just lost my thread. And so it's a film of discovery, a film of emotion, significant emotion, because of like I say, the theme of the mum who's recovering in hospital, who can't be at home, but the girls want to be near her. Particularly the young girl wants to be with her all the time, and she's saying every time she's saying to somebody, "Oh, she's coming back tomorrow. She's coming back tomorrow," and she's not really. It's just her enthusiasm to be back with her mother. And let's face it, the beauty on show of the animation is incredible. It is pretty much a given about any Studio Ghibli film. But quite particularly in this film is there's particular scenes that are just fabulous to watch, and the sounds involved. Be it Totoro doing his call with his little instrument with his little helpers in the tree. It's just a beautiful image and a beautiful sight and sound. To the blah blah blah. Oh, sorry, I've lost my thread again. There was a particular moment I wanted to bring up. In the rain, where they're waiting for the dad to come back home. During the day they're being looked after by like a nanny, and they meet him every day at the bus stop when he is coming home from work, and they're waiting at the bus stop. It is absolutely throwing it down with rain. They have one little umbrella. It's beautifully lit moonlight, and obviously the lamp posts, and Totoro wanders up as he does with a big old green leaf on his head. Then he's just stood there like that. I can't. Sorry, that just makes no sense to me because I've not seen the film. But yeah, there's just something, and then the girls offer him their little offer him an umbrella, and just the side of him with an umbrella with the green leaf on his head in the rain, and them next to him just sort of like is just a beautiful and an image you don't forget from the film. It's a beautiful film. It's a wonderful film for a family. It's a family film because it shows that interaction between adults and children, and what effect the absence of them have, and what sometimes when their parents are there, and maybe they should be having more involvement. Maybe the dad maybe should have a bit more involvement, because clearly the mum probably does have a larger interaction with the children, whereas he's normally at work, and it is having effects on the girls. So, like I say, the story is a beautiful story, a beautifully told story. The animation is fabulous. The sound of it is beautiful. The songs, I mean, of course, I have viewed the film in Japanese, and I have viewed it in English from the Disney dub. So I have seen both versions, and hey, by all means, see the Japanese version first if you can. But if you can't, hey, I personally have absolutely no problem with the English language version. I think it still captures the essence and the performance of the characters and the story. So yeah, you can watch either, and I think you should certainly enjoy the film. So the opening credits, wonderful opening credits, aren't they? There's that song, and the animation as little May walks past all the time is fabulous. There we go. I'm just jabbering on now, really, aren't I? So please watch My Neighbour Totoro. It is for me, it's an essential animation must see, and you're worse off for not seeing it, in my opinion. So, it's just a joyful film, an utter joy of a film. There we go. My Neighbour Totoro from Studio Ghibli is my classic film of the week. And my theatrically film of the week was the Steve Jobs biopic, Steve Jobs, directed by Danny Boyle and scripted by Aaron Sorkin. I thank you if you have for watching. I hope you do subscribe to me, and I hope to see and speak to you again. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.